Dear students, about distributed systems, we are discussing about the communications. Is it not? We are in first unit and distributed systems communications we are discussing. So in communications, we discussed about the fundamentals of distributed systems and we discussed the RPC. We discussed about the RPC, that is remote procedure call. Okay, we discussed about the remote procedure call and fundamentals in the last class, and today we are discussing about the message oriented communication. Okay, message oriented communication and stream oriented communication is going to discuss now. Okay, so what is message oriented communication? Message oriented communication is nothing but how, see, always you have to keep in mind about the server and the client, is it not? Always you have to keep in mind about the server and the client, how the client can communicate with the server and how the server can communicate, can send the requested from the client. Okay, so here we are discussing about message oriented communication and stream oriented communication. What is message oriented communication? A message is passing from the client to server. So what is happening in a different operation, different situations? Okay, so while the information message is processing, so what is happening in a different situations? What are the different situations in message processing? Okay, so here message oriented communication. Message oriented communication is nothing but it is about synchronous versus asynchronous communication. Synchronous versus asynchronous communication and message queuing system and message brokers. Okay, it is explaining about synchronous versus asynchronous communication and message queuing system, message brokers. Okay, so what is synchronous versus asynchronous communication? Synchronous communication is nothing but it is one way of communication. It is one way of communication, that is from client to server. A client can request to the server. Okay, so whereas the server cannot give the required information to the client. That is one way of information is passing is known as the synchronous service. Okay, so asynchronous is for both sides. Asynchronous communication is from both sides. That is, a client can request and server also can respond. Okay, so synchronous it is only the client can request and server cannot. And here it is for a vice versa. Okay, vice versa. And message queuing system. When the message is passing from client to server, so the messages are going to be in a queuing system, one by one, one by one, one by one. So messages are going through queuing system, queue. Okay, so we know what is about queue and stacks, stacks and queues, is it not? So how the messages are going in a sequence, queues and message brokers. Okay, and message brokers which are used developed by the IBM MQ series. Okay, so how it is going to implement in message oriented communication? Okay, so whenever the message is passing from client to server, some observations we can see. Client server competition is generally based on a model of synchronous communication. Okay, generally it is based on synchronous communication. So client and server have to be active at the time of communication, and client issues request and blocks until it receives reply. Okay, so client issues request and blocks until it receives reply. Server essentially waits only for incoming request and subsequently process them. Okay, server essentially waits only for incoming requests and subsequently processes them. That the servers will be processed and it will keep it with them. Okay, so the drawback of this synchronous communication, client cannot do any other work while waiting for reply. Client is requesting something and he has to wait to receive the communication, is it not? So client cannot do anything work while waiting for reply, and failures have to be dealt with immediately the client is waiting. Okay, though the client is waiting, failures have to be dealt. Okay, there are some failures because it is not getting any response. In many cases, the model is simply not appropriate. So there are many cases this model is not useful. Okay, so it is like, for example, mails and news. Mails and news. If you send a request through a mail, if the mail is not opening, is it not? Server is not opening the mail. Server is not opening the mail, so that you are not able to see the mail. Okay, in any news also. Okay, one way of communication. So asynchronous communication is also, it is aims at high level asynchronous communications. Okay, so message oriented middleware, it is aims at high level asynchronous communication and processes and each other messages which are queued. Okay, so which are queued and it is processing the communication. Sender need not wait for immediate reply but can do other things. Okay, sender can need not to wait for that reply and it can be done other things also. So middleware often ensures fault tolerance. So middleware often ensures some fault tolerance. Some fault tolerance maybe happen. Okay. So here we can see the diagram, sending host and communication server. Okay, sending a sender and a communication server, and application we are sending, for example we are mailing some through some mail application, that is with OS. Here you can see the queue. Okay, here you can see the queue and here you can see the stub. Okay, what is the stub? Stub is a part and it is working according to the requirement. Stub, you can see the queue and it is connected with the OS. Okay, connected with the OS and it is local buffer. Okay, see here routing program. Okay, routing algorithms are the routing program and it is going according to the buffer to the local network. Okay, local network, and here it is communicating to the server. Okay, it is communicating to the server according to the requirement, and the required information it is coming from the server through OS and it is going to display to the application, that is receiver end. Okay, it is at the receiver end it is going to display. Okay, so here it is, you can say that buffer, and here also you can see the buffer independent of communicating host. Okay, buffer instructions are storing here. Okay, and it is communicating through the network and it is from server it is going to send a response, and from OS it is the response it is going to receive the client side. Okay, host side and communication server, and communication server and receiving the host. So in this communication server you can see the persistent and transient communication. What is persistent and what is transient communication? Persistent communication is nothing but it remains there. It remains there. A message is stored at a communication server as long as it takes to deliver it at the receiver. Persistent communication is nothing but a message is stored at a communication server as long as it takes to deliver at the receiver. It will receiver at the restore there only. Okay, transit communication is a message is discarded. A message is discarded by a communication server as soon as it cannot be delivered at the next server or at the receiver. See, whenever the request is coming from the client, so when the server reaches the request, so it will delete it. It makes the queue be empty. Okay, it makes the queue be empty so that the next request also can be held in the queue. Okay, so transit communication is nothing but a message is discarded by a communication server as soon as it cannot be delivered at the next server and it or at the receiver. Okay, we can see the different situations. So when the message is passing from client to server, we can see the different six situations. So when a message is passing from client to server, a socket is established, a socket. So we'll see the next slide what is meant by socket and what is there in the socket. And here we can see the six different situations. A message, a request can be generated from request. So what happens when the request is requesting from client? So what happens is server, what the server is doing, and when it sends and when it reaches, and what happens. Different situations that we can see here. A send A sends message and continues. Sender A is sending a message, okay, and it is continuing to B. Okay, so B is ideal here. See, B is not running. B is not running is ideal, and when it sends, it received a request from A to B. So after that, a socket it is stop. It stopped running. Okay, A is stopping the running. Okay, and when A stops, B is started. A stops and B is started. The request going to the server. Going to the server. Okay, so A, this is A, and we can see the B situation. A sends message and waits until accepted. A is sending message to B and it is waiting there. Okay, at B end it is waiting to until B received or not. It is getting the confirmation whether B is received or not. Different situations. Okay, so message B is stored at B's location for later delivery. For later delivery. Here you see A is sending a request and here B is not doing anything. It is ideal. Whenever B is received and B is active and it is executing. It is processing and it is going to the server. Okay, B is accepted the request and it is going to the server. Okay, and this is a different situation. B is not running. Okay, and B starts and receives message. When the B is reached, B get the instruction from server A, then only it is started the process. Okay, and it is going according to this. We can see the different situation that is C about the AB. So A is running with a request. A sends message and continues. A is going on sending the messages to B, where when A is sending, B is ideal for certain time. Okay, and B received a signal from A, then B is also running. B received messages and B messages can be sent only B is running. So when B is only running, then only A is able to send the request. It is like when a sprinter, a runner is going sprinting is going on 800 meters. The two sprinters are running, is it not? So the two one by one they will run. When he go for one round, he reaches the end point where he is waiting for the second one, and he come and will give he touch to the second person. He is moving, is it not? It is like the 400 or 800 speed. Okay, so here like that it is. And send the next fourth situation we can see here, send request and wait until received. Okay, so not only sending the request from A to B, and A also receives a signal from B that it is received by B. That is received by B. So A is requesting to B and B is also running, and when B reaches, so A is getting the confirmation and B is also running and B is processing. B is processing. So B is giving acknowledgement to A. This is one situation that B is giving acknowledgement to A. Okay. The fifth situation, that is send request and wait until accepted. Okay. Is there any difference? Yes, there is a difference between these two, that fourth and fifth. So send request and wait until accepted. So that is whether validator or not validator. Here it is accepted and it is giving a acknowledgement to the A. Okay, so A is sending a request and running, B is running but doing something else. B is busy with other things and B is also received and it is accepting. Okay, and B is also processing that request which it received from A. Okay, this is about the fifth one. And sixth situation, it is send request and waits for reply. Okay, A is sending a request and waiting for reply. So when it receives a reply from B, which is the required information of the request, required information of the request it reaches, so that B A is going to give the information to the A sender. Okay, so A is sending request and waits for reply, and B is also running but doing something else, and B reaches the request, B is running process, and B is accepting, and B is retrieving the required information and sending to the A. So we can say that there are different situations of sender and receiver. Sender and receiver. Okay. So message oriented middleware. Message oriented middleware is nothing but asynchronous persistent communication through support of middleware level queues. Support of middleware queues. Queues corresponding to buffers at communication servers. When the requesting is requesting from A to B, so all the requests are stored in the queue. Just now we have seen the outlet points, is it not? So it is queuing. It is forming in a queue. The request is forming in a queue buffers. Okay, so it is like, for example, IBM MQ series. Okay, example is IBM MQ series is also, you can see that, right? So IBM MQ series is nothing but, it is, what is the basic concept of IBM MQ series? Application specific messages or put information. Application specific messages that are message queues. Message queues. MBA, MBI, MD. Messages are queuing. That is put information and removed from queues. Okay, putting the information in queues and removing the queues. Okay, so queues always reside under the regime of a queue manager. So there is a queue manager. It take care of the queues. Take care of the queues. So what are the requests are getting and what is the information it is sending, and if the information it satisfies, it eliminates from the queue. Okay, so queue manager is taking care of the queues, and processes can put messages only in local queues or through an RPC mechanism. It can be stored the queues in local queue or else by using RPC, remote procedure call mechanism is also is used. Okay, so message transfer. Messages are transferred between queues. There are the different queues, I said, is it not? Different queues are there. So how the information is passing from queue to queue. Messages are transferred between queues. It is depends on the request. Depends on the purpose of the request. The information is transferring from queue to queue. Okay, and message transfer between queues at different processes. Message transfer between queues at different processes, is it not? So it depends on the situation, depends on the information is retrieved, requested, retrieved. So the information is storing from queue to queue. Okay, so it is queues at different processes requires a channel, is it not? To going from queue to queue, there should be a channel. So the channel is also is established between the queues. Okay, so at each endpoint of a channel is a message channel agent. At each endpoint of a channel, there a message queue is having message channel. Message channel. So that message channel is looking after message channel agent. There message queue manager is there. Here it is message channel agent. Okay, known as MCA. So setting up channels using lower level network communication facilities, that is taken care of TCP/IP, local channels using lower level networking. Lower level networking, that is TCP/IP networking, as we studied about that, and that is wrapping messages from in transport level packets. That is unwrapping. Unwrap means that messages are combining and scheduling, or you can say that it is that activated, or it is shuffling. Okay, and it is going in from different queue to queue. Okay, wrapping messages from and in and out transport level packets. Okay, so we study about the transport layer is using for by keeping the information messages between queues, different queues, and taking out the information from different queues. Okay, and sending receiving packets, so that the signals are in the form of packets, sending receiving with some packets. You can see IBM MQ series. IBM MQ series, the diagram how it is working, you can see here, sending a request from a client and how it is going to perform in the queue, and at the server side also it will be in the queue, and it is performing as a queue to the client. It is performing as a queue to the client. You can see sending a programmer, that is MQ queue interface. Okay, you can see here it is stub is a part of the process. Okay, where it is collecting. Okay, so MQ interface, it is stub it is connecting to the RPC. Okay, remote procedure call, and it is through RPC it is going to again server stub. Okay, stub it is server, so server it will have the again stub is a location of saving the instruction packets. Okay, so the packet again it is going to the stub. Okay, queues, so here it is queue is an agent. Okay, queue agent it is connecting, and it is managing queues. See here it is queues are managing, and if through queues it is connecting through internet. You can say it is also in the form of priority also sometimes. Okay, it depends on the priority, and again it is going to the through network, it is going to the MCA agent, mobile communication agent, and it is again is going to the queue, and from queue it is going to by simultaneous by making in a form of making in a simplified manner. Again it is going to a queue, and it is going to queue manager, and from it is simplified, and again it is going to the stub, where to the request stub, and stub to receiver, stub to receiver. Okay, so message passing asynchronous to the remote queue manager. Remote queue manager. Channels are inherently unidirectional. Channels are inherently unidirectional. Okay, so for both directions. MQ series provides mechanisms to automatically start MCS. MQ series provides mechanisms to start the MCS when messages arrive, or to have to receive set up a channel. So always MCS are in an active movement, so that when it receives it will be in a activity, it will be managed the the queues. Okay, so any network of queue managers can be created. Any network of queue managers can be created. Routes are set up manually. These routes are set up system administrator. So how the MCS have to take care, how the queues are to be established to communicate will be handled by this system admin, system administrator. Okay, IBM NQ series. Okay, we can see the queue list here. Okay, routing by using logical names in combination with name resolution to local queues. It is possible to put a message in a remote queue. The by system administrator will define and design the queues, so that these queues are managing to coordinate. Managing to coordinate. This is alias table and routing table. Assigning the queues. Q1, LA1, LA2. Okay. So and QMC, QMD, like that. These are all the different ways of queues. So are in the form of routing table, or giving the form of or priority based or information based, or it is based on some purpose. So it is making as a routing table. routing table, and it is being in the stubs with queues. Stubs with queues. Okay. So SQ2, queue table 2, queue table 1, like that. So it is connecting through the internet networking, and it is connecting, and information is sending and receiving. It is a channel of packets, and it is going from place to place. Okay, here also it is one different situation, and it is connecting through the networking, and it is going to send and receive the information. Okay, so this is about the send and receive the information. So what is the question? You can see here, what's the major problem here? Okay, what's the major problem? See, we can see the problem. So congestion, suppose it is a busy, the packets are moving from place to place, there is a chance of congestion. Okay, so what happens because of congestion? It is because it takes some time, some lagging time it will take. Okay, so message broker is like, it acts as a third person, acts as like third person, which helps to receive and communicate the information. So observation, message queuing systems assume a common messaging protocol. It is using a common messaging protocol, that is, all applications agree on message format. So it is keeping in a format that it is common messaging protocol. Okay, so it is agree on the message format, and so that is structure and data representation. That is, it is in a message format is nothing but structure and data representation. That it is the signals or tracks, that is packets, is going to form in a data representation. It is zeros, one, ones complement, twos complement, or zeros complement, it is keeping in the data representation. Okay, so message broker is centralized component that takes care of the application heterogeneously in a message queuing system. Okay, so it is going to be centralized component that takes care of application heterogeneously in a message queuing system. Okay, so transforms incoming messages to target format. Okay, transforms incoming messages to target formats, possibly using intermediate representation, possibly by using the intermediate representation. So from binary information to the human understanding information, so in between the intermediate representation is also using, that is, it is communicating from, and it is the place where it is going to change from the binary to the human understanding information. Okay, it is represented as the intermediate representation, and may provide subject based routing capabilities. It is also maybe provided the subject based routing capabilities, and acts very much like an application gateway. Okay, it is like application gateway, means it is going to the next level, it is permitting to go to the next level, that is application gateway. Here you can see the diagram, source client, message broker, and database with the conversation rules, destination client. Okay, how the information packet is going from the queues to the different queues, from broker, and from broker again it is going to the different queues by using the database. The information is retrieving from database. Okay, so and it is going and form in the form of queues, and it is going in the form of queues, and it is at the destination client, that is client environment. Okay, this is about message oriented packaging, and now this is stream oriented communication. Now we can see that stream oriented communication. Stream oriented communication is nothing but it is a sequence of units. It is a sequence of units are transfer are communicating. Sequence of units are communicating. Okay, so support for continuous media. It is a sequence of instructions or going support for continuous media and streams in distributed systems. Streams in distributed systems and stream management, how the streams are managing. Okay, so what is meant by continuous media? Streams are sequentially is processing, that is, observe what is observation. All communication facilities discussed so far are essentially based on a discrete, that is time independent exchange of information, that is time independent exchange of information. When, see, it depends on the situation. We have seen the different 6 environment. So like that, it is what we can observe is it is based on the discrete, that is time independent exchange of information. So continuous media is nothing but characterized by the fact that values are time dependent. That is, values are time dependent. That is audio, video, animations, and sensor data. Okay, by using the stream message passing. So we also sometimes audio, video, animations. How that that can be streamed. How that can be streamed. Okay, and transmission modes, different timing guarantees with respect to data transfer. So for audio, a certain time will be taken, and video for a certain time will be taken, and animation a certain time can be taken, temperature, pressure. So for certain request, certain time is located, time is defined, given. Okay, so the transmission modes, different timing guarantees with respect to data, what type of data is transferring. Asynchronous. Okay, so here also the two things are you mentioning, asynchronous and synchronous. Asynchronous is one type and one way, and synchronous is two sides. No restrictions with respect to when data is to be delivered. Okay, so no restrictions with respect to when data is to be delivered. Okay, and define a maximum end-to-end delay for individual data packets. Okay, in synchronize we can see that a maximum end-to-end delay for individual data packets. Okay, so stream definition, that is a continuous data stream is a connection oriented communication. As I told you, continuation is streaming, a sequence of continuation. That is sequence of continuation. Data stream is connection oriented communication facility that supports asynchronous data transmission. Supports asynchronous data transmission. Some common streams characteristics. Some common stream characteristics. Streams are unidirectional. Streams are unidirectional. That is for both directions, for receiving and sending. There is generally a single source and one or more sinks. There is a single source and is divided into more sinks. Okay, divided into more sinks. Often either the sink and or source is a wrapper around hardware. That sink is going to connect with the hardware so that the information can be transferred. Okay, for example, camera, CD device, TV monitor, dedicated storage. How, where the information before going to display. Okay, so camera, CD device, and TV monitor and dedicated storage, the information will be stored. Stream types. Okay, stream types, that is simple, complex. Simple is nothing but consists of a single flow of data. Simple is nothing but single flow of data, that is for example audio or video. Okay, for example a single data is transmitting, whether it is maybe audio or video. And complex is nothing but multiple data flows. Multiple data flows, that is stereo, audio, or combination of audio, video, stereo with a different leaks or different number of types of stereos, is it not? Or stereo audio with video. Okay, complex and simple, stereo streamed type. Okay, you can see the diagram of streamed. Sending a process through from database. Okay, program is connected with the OS and streaming, and it is going continuously. It is going to the through the network and receiving. Okay, so A is defined like that. A is sending from request, and before displaying, before here you can see here it is uh, display, before going to display. Okay, and here also you can see in the B, that is through camera, through the operating system, through the networking, it is streaming and it is display. It is display. Okay, so streams and QoS. Streams and QoS. QoS is nothing but quality of streaming. Quality of streaming. Streaming and quality of streaming. The essence is streams are all about timely delivery of data. So the basic is streams are all about timely delivery of data. how do you specify this quality of service? Quality of service, quality of stream, that is, make distinction between specification and implementation of quality of service. Quality of service. Okay, we can specify how it can be manipulated. Okay, flow specification. Flow specification. Use a token bucket model and express QoS in that model by considering a token bucket. Token bucket is nothing but it is also managing the tokens in a sequence manner. Okay, token bucket model and express quality of service whether it is good or not. Streaming. Okay, here also you can see that application, it is going from a client and it is by steps, it is irregular stream of data units, irregular data, and it is going to the regular streams. It is irregular and it will be in the form of regular streaming, and one token is added to the bucket every triangle every sequence. It is going to add one token of bucket, one token of bucket. Okay, and input characteristics required services. What is input characteristics? Maximum data unit is size. Maximum data unit size, that is bytes. And here it is required services loss sensitivity. Loss sensitivity is also in bytes manner. And token bucket rate. Token bucket rate is in the form of bytes per second. Here it is milliseconds. Milliseconds loss interval. And token bucket size, it is bytes, and burst loss sensitivity is also data units. So maximum transmission rate is bytes per second and minimum delay notice is milliseconds, that is maximum delay variation Q or quality of guidance. Quality of guidance. Implement of quality of service, quality of streaming, that is problem. Quality of service specifications translate to resource reservations in underlying communication system. So there is no standard way of QoS specifications. There is no standard specification of QoS. So based on the situation in the QoS is taking the performance. Okay. So mapping specification to reservations. So it is going to map based on the QoS. So it is mapping and the information is transferring. Okay, and mapping specifications to reservations. Reservations it will consider and and mapping is performed. So the approach is use resource reservation. Okay, use resource reservation protocol. Use resource reservation protocol as first attempt, and that RCVP is a transport layer protocol. Okay, so reservation resource protocol is a transport level protocol. Okay, streaming synchronization. How the streaming is going to synchronize? So you can see here through the application tells to the middleware, and middle multimedia control is part of middleware. Okay, through the network. So incoming stream is coming, for example, through the camera or like that, and it is through the middle layer. Okay, through the operating system, and it is by the stub you can see it is simply it is displaying through the TV or through a display monitor. Okay, and alternative multiplex all substreams into a single stream and demultiplex at the receiver. Synchronization is handled at a multiplexing demultiplexing point. So there is a synchronization for multiplexing and demultiplexing. Okay, so for this message passing, we always keep in mind about the socket. Okay, so what is a socket? What is the socket will have? Sockets are a service provided by transport layer. Sockets are a service provided by a transport layer. A socket is one endpoint of a two-way communication. That is one endpoint of two-way communication between two programs running on the networking. So running on the networking, it is two-way communication. And Berkeley socket. See, Berkeley socket is very familiar in this communication process. It is Berkeley sockets is an application programming interface, that is for API application programming interface, internet sockets and Unix domain sockets. It is used for inter-process communication, and it is commonly implemented as a library of linkage modules, and it originated with the 4.2 BSD Unix released in 1983. So by using some mechanisms, it is going to be organized. Okay, 4.2 BSD Unix ointment. Okay, so primitive used in Berkeley socket. What is happening in the Berkeley socket? The meaning. See, primitive socket. Socket is nothing but it is create a new communication endpoint. Socket is nothing but creating a communication to the endpoint. Okay, so bind is nothing but attach a local address to the socket. Bind is nothing but in the last class also we have seen it is binding. Bind is means it is connecting. Here it is attach a local address to a socket. Attaching a local address to a socket. And listen shows the willingness to accept the connections. When it is binding, there should be an acceptance. Shows the willingness to accept the connection. Okay, listen. Accept. Block the caller until a connection attempts arrives. So that is accept. What is meant by accept? Shows the willingness to accept connections. Right. Accept blocks the caller until a connection attempts arrives. Okay. So accept is block the caller until a connection attempts arrives. Connect. Connecting is nothing but actively attempt to establish a connection. Actively attempting to establish a connection. Send some data over connection. Send is after establishing the connection and it is accepting to receive and it is the time of sending. Send some data over through the connection. Receive sending from the servers, receive at the server end, receive some data from the connection. Okay, close the connection, release the connection. This is about the Berkeley socket. A socket is known as a Berkeley socket and that actions. Okay, socket programming just now we seen. Server startup executes socket bind listen just that you then it use accept. The same just now we seen. Okay, client side that is just it is server side and it is client side. It uses socket primitive to create, then use connect to initiate connection process. When this returns the socket is open, both sides can now send receive connection not released until both sides do close. Okay, typically clients does it, server acknowledge. Typically client will request for the close and for that server will give the acknowledgement. Okay, so this is about the communication channels, communication process. We see about this topic. If you have any doubts, you just mail me so that we can communicate. You go through this topic. Okay, thank you.